Alright, Forex market, guys, we're back for the second time today. Got the Aussie versus the Swiss franc. It's coming up on our radar as one of the most interesting situations right now. Bullish, kind of more of a long-term type of trading opportunity, where we're going to be chasing about 250 pip, probably about a little bit less than that, 240 pip if I'm not mistaken, aiming at 71.94. Now you might be finding this situation a little bit familiar, but that's because we've already been here and we've already talked about it. But now it became really imminent, and I feel that it's time we're going to be pulling the trigger and establishing a bullish position. We're going to try to trace 70.53. That's going to be the first step, and then again, like I said, final destination 71.94. But here's what happened over last Thursday, last Friday. Very interesting stuff here. We got that big support at 69.28. Now this support and resistance system that you see here, this blue key level system here, had been placed here ever since probably late March, right after we've had that big down up, right, that 1-2 moves that we've seen here, and then of course price started to drift downwards all the way in what we described as a classic Elliott wave cycle, right? We've had that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way, beautiful touchdown right there on the bottom. But let's analyze what happened here over the last 10 days or so. We've seen price approaching, right? Nice touchdown right there, 69.28 again. That's the big one. And price paid a lot of respect, at least, in the first, 7-8 days, right? It was confirming to that level and just checking up on it. Well, in this case, checking down on it every single time, but it didn't even try to cross over, right? It was very polite. Well, that changed last Thursday. Big move on the downside, breaking 69.28, right? But of course that was a daily session, so we thought it might be just a false breakdown, price setting up some bearish traps right there, and as sure as you can imagine, right, price just bounced back up. That was last Friday, so it went straight back in, right, quickly, as if nothing ever happened. I want to show you how this might look like. Well, how this looks like from the weekly perspective, from the weekly angle. It's really fascinating. I mean, you can see how price just spiked that level. That's the check, right? That's the testing ground. That's price testing 69.28, which I gotta tell you, it passed with flying colors. It held really well and pushed against price action, and now you see the end result. Well, the bottom line, I guess, you can only, you probably can guess where I'm going with this, right? We've had that back and forth exchange that I've described when I was on the daily chart. Now this is the big touchdown on 69.28, and from here, guys, this is, potentially speaking, of course, this is might end up being a major turning point, a major tipping point, the kind that changes the trend. Because, the trend was down, there's no doubt about that, ever since early March, pretty much, right? For 3 months or so, price was on the back foot. Now we think it's going to change direction, it's going to go back up. I don't know how long that's going to take. Hopefully not as long as it did to come off all the way here, right? Because that was a bumpy ride, to put it lightly. And hopefully, this move back up is going to be a little bit smoother. I mean, all the way down here was pretty much was rodeo. That's what it was. Very volatile. A lot of corrections along the way. Anyway, this is a good sign, guys. Price breaking down, making the sound of a breakdown, but then coming quickly back up, leaving that big mark across the weekly chart, just as I've showed you. That's big. We take this seriously, and we're gonna pull the trigger on this one. Again, a little bit longer type of trading opportunity, chasing 71.94 as I've said at the beginning. We're gonna try to build up a decent sized position going forward, and of course 69.28. It's gonna be our mental stop loss level, and everything's gonna be the whole position is gonna revolve around that level as far as the risk management goes. Anyway, that's about that. Aussie Swiss. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. I sure did. We're gonna be continuing off to the cryptocurrency market, so join us. We'll see you then. Cheers.